So if you look at it, I think the first one I ever remember was, I think it was called OneCoin. Check it out, OneCoin. And then people lost, I think, about 4.4 billion on those things, like with a B, dollars on those things. There was a lady, I think she was called Crypto Queen then, and then she was claiming that she had a PhD as well, which you need to be careful. People that claim to have same thing as someone claiming to be Patrick. If someone goes out and says, "Hey, I'm Patrick, be careful, because most likely you don't go out shouting your name. So people go out and say, "Oh, I've got a PhD. Be careful. Look at what they've got the PhD on." And most likely it's not what they're talking about. So this lady at OneCoin had a PhD, and I think it was metaphysics or something funny. But the way she was shouting the PhD and going on stage to talk about finance topics on OneCoin, it made it look like she had a PhD in finance or maths, which wasn't the case. And then they had like some sort of ML, multi-level marketing style approach to it until it disappeared. Until people just disappeared and the money was gone. 4 billion was gone. And that was the start of many. Because then what happened then? People realized, wait, you can just do anything on the crypto world. So not just drug dealers, not just criminals that were using it down underworld and terrorists. But it turns out that scammers could just do it. So she was the first. She started that, and then others started doing it as well. So now you have everybody going out there. Remember, Tour girl or something. Every celebrity came up and had a coin as well, and they just scammed people. And then they blamed some developer, the rug pull. The idea of rug pull came out, which again is a mess. So you can look at that and just again this history, just search online, and it's like a different world out there. Even the fonts and everything is just funny. Okay, and then you would think that's where it stops. Okay, until exchanges joined in. So FTX, I think, was a big one, right? And people still haven't forgotten that. I think there were a few, algorithmic coins and things like that. But FTX, I think, was a big one because people lost a lot of money. A lot of people were dragged down there, right? And then the idea was, I think there was one as well where they said, hey, there's guaranteed return. So people like that started challenging the banks to say, hey, please come to us. We can give you guaranteed returns, or we can hack the market so that you can get a better price on Bitcoin, things like that. They went ahead and again they caused a lot of this hack there, up to the billions of losses with a B, dollars. I say all that to mention that, listen, Bitcoin has a problem, and you're justified to be worried about Bitcoin. You're justified to run away from Bitcoin. Okay. But here's what people are missing with that. Okay. Should run away from Bitcoin. Because again, mind you, this video, okay, is for entrepreneurs, not for consumers. Okay, and that's where we're getting things wrong. Love this code, by the way. So if you look at it, there are two sides to an equation, right? So you can either be a consumer or it could be a business. So if you're a business owner, okay, if you run a business, your thinking, your offering is different from someone who is a customer. Because a customer or an investor wants a product, they want a return, they want a service. Okay, so what happens then is the entire Bitcoin so far has been focused on consumers. What does that mean? That means if you have 1,000 to invest, okay, there are two ways. You can go to a bank and invest your 1,000, or stock market, what we call TradFi. So traditional finance is just traditional finance, which is the bank, stock markets, savings account, checking account, things like that. So you can leave your money there, okay, and you get a little return, okay. Or you can go to Bitcoin and get more returns, but it's very risky. So you can see people claiming to get, 100x, 2000x, and that's why they run into this Bitcoin. So that you have two worlds. If you're a consumer, you have two worlds. You can go to TradFi, traditional finance, or you can go to Bitcoin where you get more money, but it's very, very risky. Regulators, central banks will tell you, please, as a consumer, don't go here. Don't go to Bitcoin because you get a lot of returns, but you lose your money. We can't protect you, but we can protect you here with the bank. So if the bank loses your money, you can go in and say, hey, I want my money back. If you put your money in the bank, you're guaranteed for at least 100K, 200K, depending on what country you're at, and you get your money back. Okay, you have insurance. All the banks have to be regulated. They have to check. These guys, not so. Okay, so there are two worlds there. So as a customer, you have to be careful. And that's where people miss the entire point of the Bitcoin and crypto.